We are broadcasting.
Hello, I'd like to welcome you to the Pinole Community Services Commission, our meeting for September 22nd, 2021. First item on the agenda, I'd like to call the meeting to order. I would ask Maria if she will do a roll call.
Yes, Commissioner Martin.
Here.
Commissioner Menes.
Here.
Commissioner Teller.
Here.
Commissioner Ojeda.
I'm here.
And at this time we have Commissioner Clark and Commissioner Kopp absent.
The next item on the agenda would be the approval of the minutes for August 25th of this year. Do I have any questions about the minutes? Not hearing any. Could I please have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Thank you. So the minutes have been approved. The next item on the agenda is citizens to be heard or public comments. Citizens may speak under any item not listed in the agenda. The time is 3 minutes and is subject to modification by the chair. Individuals may not share or offer time to another speaker. Pursuant to provisions of the Brown Act, no action will be taken on a matter unless it's listed on the agenda, or unless certain emergency or special circumstances exist. The commissioners may direct staff to investigate and or schedule certain matters for consideration at a future meeting. So we'll move to old business. And the first item is our events for 2021. And we'll have a wrap up or an evaluation of coastal cleanup. Maria, would you like to give us something on that, please?
Yes, so I do have the final count. We had 160 participants in the event. So I think this was by far one of the biggest coastal cleanup events that we have had in a while. I know our numbers before have averaged anywhere between 80 to 100. I know they've been larger before, but I mean, this was the big number. So it was really nice to see the community out. There was a lot of youth groups, families of all ages, and everybody was there. So it was a great event. I don't know if the commissioners have any feedback or suggestions for next year, anything that we could improve.
I would like to just mention, before I ask Anne to talk to us, I would just like to mention that this year, many of the people were directed to go, instead of just the shoreline, we did have people go to the shoreline, but many people went to trails and creeks, and Debbie she and her husband organized a cleanup at Fernandez Park, which apparently was successful. I mean, and one thing, my neighbor, in fact, 17 years old, came back with a bicycle and a tire, which was pretty cool. And one lady and I think a couple of young scouts found a tractor tire in a creek, so they brought that back. So that was pretty cool. So, Anne, welcome. Would you like to say how you went, the Friends of the Pinole Creek?
Yeah, and I just wanted to officially commend the commission and staff and Peter Murray for their fabulous work in hosting the 2021 Coastal Cleanup this year. Seeing the excitement and the joy in the community in participating was infectious. And so not only was it just fabulous, there was a ton of garbage, maybe more than a ton. I'm not sure about that, but a lot of garbage collected. And we had a lot of interest in the Thriving Earth Exchange project, especially from families and from scout troops that we look forward to inviting to join us when we do a more scientifically directed trash cleanup that's got a lot more data and will hopefully end to more policy changes in our city. So anyway, again, kudos to all of you officially from the Friends Pinole Creek Watershed, and thank you for all you do.
Thank you. Maria, I want to thank you for contacting the many groups and schools. And this year we did have a lot come out, many of them doing community service hours, which is wonderful. Also like to thank city staff and of course, Bob Kopp and Pete Murray, of course, who spearheaded this again. It was very, very successful. The weather was wonderful and it was a really good event. Does anyone else have input on how they felt about the event?
We really enjoyed it down there at the park. We got a lot done, especially with regard to the bleachers. We thought we got a little over our head there for a minute, and then the Interact Club showed up and helped us finish up. And it's shining like the top of the Chrysler building, if I do say so myself.
That's fantastic. Are there any other comments? I think it was invaluable that people were sent out to areas that we haven't necessarily touched as officially before, particularly in creek areas. So that was great. And a lot of small children came out. What a wonderful thing for them to learn about recycling and all of that stuff. Any more comments about coastal cleanup?
I think that the event went pretty well overall. Like you said, the weather was lovely. We had a lot of people show up and go to all parts of the community, broader maybe than we've done in coastal cleanups in the past, but that's good. It means that we've got more raw area cleaned up, which is to the benefit. I also like to remind people, you know, if you've got some stuff and you can't carry it around, you're passing it to somebody else, that throwing glass bottles probably isn't a good idea. Plastic, aluminum, it'll probably survive hitting a rock. Glass, not so much.
Sure. Okay. If there are no more comments, no further comments, let's discuss Fall Dumpster Day, which will be October 9th at Pinole Valley Park. Maria, do you want to, I know last time we had a couple of staff from Republic and they were, or 3 staff or something, and they were invaluable, incredible.
Yes, so I have been in touch with Andrea from Republic Services, and she said the process will be the same as last time. They will be there to support the entire event. They also wanted to go as smooth as the summer event. So we are all set. Coffee and donuts will be ordered for the event, and I have signs. I think, you know, we just did it recently, so I think we have everything in place unless the commission can think of anything else. The event has been promoted through all of our communication channels and also shared, you know, through Nextdoor, through the Patch, through the city's Facebook account. Bob did put the lawn signs out this weekend when he took the coastal cleanup signs off. He put the dumpster day signs out. So those are out in the community now advertising as well.
Can I just ask or remind commission members, what time do you want us there? What time did we discuss? Was it 7?
Event starts at 7, so I think 6:30 would be an arrival time. That would be great, just to set up and put out our signs and get that and be ready for the group.
Sure. I hope most of you can come out for that. Debbie, I guess I'll have to take a few photos if you can't make it. They're not as good as yours, but they'll have to do.
Yes, would you please take some photos? And I apologize.
No, don't apologize. Of course I will. Any further comments on the second dumpster day? The first one was extremely successful, and it's nice to have a second for those people who maybe didn't have an opportunity for the first one. And I do understand that Roy will be here to talk to people as they come in. So, all right, Roy Swearingen will be here at the event. Okay, then the next of old business is the Thriving Earth Exchange Project. For Ann?
Go ahead, Ann. You can
Go ahead, Ann, please.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can just give you an update. I appreciated Raphael checking in with me that we had talked about, we were thinking of doing a training on this day or on the coastal cleanup day, but we decided not to do that. So we are going to be doing actual cleanups on October 16th, 23rd, and October 30th, those Saturdays. And so we'll be reaching out with specifics as far as where to meet and what to bring. We'll, as Friends of Pinole Creek Watershed and the other partners, we will be providing all of the equipment that's necessary. And we'll make sure that we can, all the data sheets, all the everything. And we'll be sending teams of probably about 4 people out with a supervisor to different parts of the entire watershed, including the upper watershed and places that we don't even think of being the creek.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Ann?
So that's what we'll be hoping to, again, for the opportunity to know about. So the other thing was, I apologize before that, is I did speak to one community group, and that was great. And so if you would like me to speak to any of your groups, including the Lions, the Rotary Club, you know, any other groups, reach out to me. And I will get in contact for, does anyone have any questions?
No, it sounds great. There's 3 opportunities.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And what time will you be doing? What do you predict a time yet?
Probably morning. So we don't have a time. We'll be setting that on Monday.
Okay.
But my guess is it would probably be something like a 9 to 12 commitment. So a morning.
Okay.
And if I might ask a question, I think it would be easiest probably if you could email me the information, just the basic, and I'll share it with the Rotary Club.
Okay. Great. I'll send you the recruiting sheet that we were giving out on Saturday.
And that has all the basic information, because I didn't hear the date.
Yes. I'll do that. I'll do that today, Debbie.
Okay, thank you, Ann. Thank you for all you do.
Great.
And if you could send it to me
Great.
too, Ann,
And thank
that'd be
you.
great. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Thanks for coming.
Yes, Maria, could you please make sure that I have Laurel's and Debbie's email address?
Yes, I'll send those over to you.
Great, thank you. And then as soon as I get that, I will send you guys the information or the recruiting sheets.
Thanks very much, Ann.
All right, thank you. Have a good rest of your meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ann.
The next item on the agenda is the art policy. I know we've discussed this briefly. Maria, do you want to introduce this, please?
Yes. So I wanted to provide an update. You know, Hector De La Rosa was not able to find a formal art policy adopted by council. As mentioned before, he did create a draft policy, but it was never reviewed by the departments or the city manager or the council. So at this time, he's not comfortable sharing a draft because it could change, you know, from what he had drafted many years ago. So once something is prepared and ready for, you know, council to review, for the commission to review, we will bring it forward during one of our meetings. But at this time, there is not an art policy to share. I also want to comment, I know Pete Murray was in the meeting last month as well, and he mentioned that there could have been a policy that was implemented regarding art. So Hector did give you a little more information and said that many years ago, even before he was hired, the city did have kind of like an agreement with any developers that art was incorporated into their development. But there wasn't art policy. It was more of a development agreement. It was a kind of a negotiated agreement with the developer. So this was done many years before. This was done, he said, with Kaiser. And I know there was a question about the Sprouts one. He said in regards to the Sprout, there wasn't, they paid a fee instead of having some kind of agreement to have art. There was a fee that was attached because they weren't able to have a policy to review. So that is the update that I received in regards to the art policy.
Well, you brought it to their attention, and that's good. So we'll just wait and see what happens.
So thanks, Maria, for following up on that. I just want to double check and clarify at this point. Hector is taking the draft art policy and having it be reviewed by city staff to eventually reach a point where the commission can provide input on it?
At some point, they will create an art policy. At this time, I don't have an expected date when he will start that. The draft was created years ago, but it's kind of been in, a save file. It hasn't been reviewed or discussed.
I think it might be worthwhile for city staff to consider drafting such a policy, because I know there have been community comments both at planning commission meetings and at council meetings regarding art or the lack thereof on several projects. So I think it might be worthwhile to consider. That's a priority.
I will share it back with them. I know with the new community services department, there will be some policies and that will be created and implemented. There's probably something that might come. I'm just not sure when, but I will share this and see if I can get a timeline or anything on that.
Thank you.
Any further comments on the art policy? Well, thank you, Maria, for bringing it to the attention of Hector, and hopefully they'll review the draft and we'll hear back. Okay, we're going to new business, and the item that we have on new business is the Community Services Commission vacancies. I'll turn that over to you, Maria, please.
Yes, so I wanted to let you know that the city clerk is working on recruitment for the commission. Emily Ricketts was one of our commissioners. She had been on the commission for a few years, but her term did expire recently, and she did inform me that she cannot commit to another term at this time and will not be reapplying. She said she enjoyed her time with the commission, and if anything changes in the future, then she would consider reapplying, but at this time she will not be continuing. And then I also want to note that Rafael was appointed to the Planning Commission, and the city clerk, I know there's been a question about if he can serve on both commissions. That is something that the city clerk is looking into, and will provide him with an update directly in the next few days.
Any further comments on vacancies?
Well, I'd like to thank Maria and Heather for looking into that information for me, and also to thank Emily for her work on the commission. She did a good job, and I'm sorry that she isn't in a position where she can continue with the commission right now, and I hope she'll be able to rejoin in the future.
Thank you, Rafael. I think we all feel the same way.
And that goes double for me.
Yes.
She did a great job, and she will be missed.
Yeah. Are there any questions or any sort of ad hoc additions or comments that anyone wants to make before we adjourn the meeting? Because that's all we had for new business for this meeting.
I have nothing new.
Okay.
I'm just excited to start talking about next year's Community Service Day.
Yes. Well, we'll do that at our next meeting, or went soon, I imagine.
Okay.
And I really missed that this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, in the possibility that it is determined that I need to withdraw from this commission because I'm on the planning commission, I'd like to thank all of you, my fellow commissioners for, having me be part of the commission and, collectively us all, doing the big projects that we've been doing, the parks policy review, the coastal cleanup, dumpster day, all of that, it's been great. I just wanted to say thank you in case, I wouldn't have the chance to do that in the future.
Well,
thank you, Raphael.
You're appreciated.
Yes, you're welcome.
You're very appreciated, Raphael, and thank you for all you've done. But we might see you next month.
We might, but just in case not, I figured it'd be good to give my thanks now.
Yes, thank you, Raphael. We don't know what will happen, but we do want to thank you for your time and for joining the commission. You've helped us in a lot of our projects, and they're big projects for the community, and it's always fun, to see the community involved. So thank you for joining. I hope that you have enjoyed your time with the commission, and good luck to you on the planning commission.
All right. We've completed all the agenda items. So I'm going to adjourn the meeting. The next meeting will be October 27th, 21. So I'm hoping to see most of you at the fall dumpster day on October 9th. Thank you. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Dave.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
Okay.
Thank you. Great
Thank you.
job,
Bye.
Laurel.
Bye.
Bye, Nick.